Hello everyone, welcome to your class today. My name's Jessie, for those of you who are new. We are doing a practice today that will be helping us shift away from anxiety. So yoga for anxiety, absolutely. And our goal is, I say that that's a little tricky. I don't like having goals for yoga practice, but we do aim to kind of shift away from this space of anxiousness and stress today, and just sort of moving through it, processing, and then focusing on something new. So that being said, we will be doing a pretty chill practice today. When we get stressed and anxious, our body automatically seizes up. You could think of it, a good example is if you're crossing the street and a car almost hits you, or you're driving a car even and you almost get into an accident but you don't. You know how your brain is like, oh my God, we're about to die. And your body immediately tenses up and your heart rate quickens, and that's how, the reaction, that physical reaction, is how panic attacks happen, right? Your body will start to physically react to some kind of stressor, even if sometimes the stressor's not there. So when you wake up and have a panic attack, or you have a panic attack for what you think is no reason, it's because your physical body is having that reaction and your brain can't identify the problem. And so there's like a disconnect there. So anyways, today we want to work on softening and relaxing the body. We'll use our breath. We'll do some stretching. We're going to do a little bit of flushing, go through some sun salutations, stuff like that. Nothing very strenuous though. Pretty relaxed class today. So grab your blocks if you'd like to use them. I am going to be using props today because I'm in my third trimester. I'm pretty heavily modifying my practice due to some stuff I have going on. But that being said, you don't need props necessarily, but if you want them, grab them. It'd be really nice to have a bolster today just for some extra support. If you don't have a bolster, grab some pillows or something. Okay. So let's go ahead and just find a comfortable seat. You should sit on a block or a pillow if your knees are above your hips. And then take a nice big inhale through your nose, sit up nice and tall. A big exhale through your mouth, allowing your eyes to close. Let's do that again. Take a full breath in. Sigh it out. Letting the shoulders get heavy. Take one more deep inhale. Big exhale. And then make your way into just a natural breath. Simply taking a moment to acknowledge how you're feeling today. And if that feeling for you isn't a great one, if it is a place of anxiousness, stress, whatever you want to call it, allow yourself to go there, right? Allow yourself to really take it in, to feel it, because it will be easier to move through or to shift out of if you can allow yourself to actually identify the feeling. And then in the future, when it happens again, you'll start to automatically identify, right, the feelings, the thoughts, and then have the tools to shift. Notice where in your body you might be holding on to this emotion. Sometimes there's this holding in the pit of the belly or even the pelvic floor area. For many people, you'll hold tension up in the tops of your shoulders or your neck, maybe your hips. And if you're really in the thick of it, you'll notice, you'll probably notice it in your breath, or even perspiration, a little bit of sweating, a little bit of shaking in the body. So without trying to correct, just identify where this lives if you can. And then what we'll do today is I want you to now take a moment to identify what we're going to call an anchor thought. And it's something that can be in relation to your anxiety if you know what that anxiety is stemming from. And if not, it can be anything that makes you happy or brings you joy and will help take you out of that space. So I'll use myself as an example. I'm pregnant during a pandemic and sometimes I'll allow my mind to kind of race off with me, and I'll get really anxious about what if I get COVID? What if I have preterm delivery? What if the baby's not healthy? What is the effects of COVID on the baby? My mind just completely runs away with me. And my anchor thought, what I do to come back is I'll notice when these thoughts occur now, and I get better and better as every day goes by about catching myself quicker. Take a couple deep breaths and then focus on my anchor thought. My anchor thought is envisioning myself right after giving birth with a perfectly healthy baby without having any major complications, nothing to do with COVID, and that thought, and letting myself sort of shift from this place of nervousness and stress to really this sort of manifestation thought of what I actually want to happen. So your anchor thought can be something, say you're anxious about a presentation at work or something like that. You can envision yourself after your presentation feeling very fulfilled and confident and having delivered just the best of your best. That would be an example of a thought that would be a great anchor thought. If you're not sure where your anxiety is coming from, you can simply think about some place, some people, something that you love and that brings you into a state of ease. And just imagine yourself in that place, with or without loved ones, as long as you feel good and happy in that moment. So I'd like for you to just simmer on your anchor thought, and this can be something that shifts with time. It can be something that you hold on to forever, and it will be your anchor thought for life. You'll be able to decide accordingly depending on where your anxiety is coming from. So hold on to that. You can almost create like an image of it in your head if you want, and just let yourself draw it out. Even if you're not feeling it completely right now, that's okay. Just start to map it out in your head. And while you do that, we'll begin to shift into a box breath. So I want you to slowly begin to elongate your inhales for a count of 4. And then you'll pause at the top of your breath for a count of 4. And exhale for a count of 4. So continue to do so on your own. As you breathe in, I want you to really try to expand all sides of your rib cage. So noticing your belly pressing out as you breathe in. So you're not just breathing into the chest, right? I want you to actively push your belly out, breathe into all sides of the ribs. Retain the breath, and then exhale completely. As you continue to breathe, notice where in the body you can soften. Just noticing the tops of your shoulders, the muscles in your face, your hands, your toes. And just slowly let all of your attention gravitate into this breath. So your only focus now is just concentrating on breathing in for the count of 4, holding for your count of 4, and exhaling for the count of 4. We're just simply calming our parasympathetic nervous system, calming the physical response of anxiety. Just take one more breath. And then after your next exhale, just slowly take your shoulders up by your ears. Allow them to roll all the way down your back. Just take a couple more like that. Inhaling, shoulders up by the ears. Exhale, draw them back and down. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And softly blink your eyes open. Let's go ahead and take the chin in towards the chest. Roll your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Draw your left shoulder blade back and down. Then gently lift your chin up towards the ceiling. And then bring your chin back down towards your right shoulder and back through the chest and over to the other side. Gently drawing your opposite shoulder down. Lift your chin, and then take the chin back down to the chest. So just gently rolling your head side to side. You can go at your own pace. And after your next exhale, just slowly come back to neutral. Lift your gaze. Let's go ahead and make our way up onto all fours. So Once you arrive, there we go. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Bring your knees directly under your hips. And just slowly begin to take circles around your wrists with your shoulders and around your knees with your hips. And you can start with small circles. If it feels to go right into nice, big, giant circles, absolutely go for it. I want you to just again close your eyes, tune into the body here. Notice where you might be feeling a little bit stuck or where you feel like you're holding. And just see if you can just simply bring movement and breath into that space. Go ahead and change your direction. And then slowly make your way back to center. Hello, Stella. Spread your fingers wide. We'll take a couple cat-cows here. So as you inhale, soften your heart towards the floor and then pull your chest through your shoulders. Lift your gaze gently. Lift your tailbone as you press your thighs back. And then exhale as you round your spine. Press the ground away. Chin comes into the chest. Pull your belly button in. If you have a baby like me, you're lifting baby up. And then inhale again. Thighs back, heart forward. Exhale to round your spine. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, round. One more time, breath in. And exhale, round. Slowly make your way back to neutral. Bring your knees together. Take your right shin out towards the right, so it's going to be parallel with the back of your mat. And take your left foot straight to the back of your mat. Lift your left arm up overhead, opening up towards your left side. Really stretch up through your left fingertips as you press through your right palm and root down through the pinky toe side of your left foot. Go ahead and just create some space in this side waist, right? Your rib cage, your chest, your shoulder, just making some space here. If you'd like, let's go ahead and open up our chest a little bit more towards the ceiling. Keep drawing your navel towards your spine, lengthen your tailbone towards your left heel. And then go ahead and take nice big circles with your left arm. So as big as you possibly can. Make circles with your left arm and shoulder. So the movement is coming from the head of the shoulder, where the shoulder connects to your back. Change your direction. Keep pressing into your right shoulder so it feels nice and steady, right? You're pretty strong on that right side as you open up the left side. And with your next exhale, go ahead and release left hand to the ground. Bring your knees together to touch. We'll open up to the other side. So left shin out, right leg back. Reach your right arm up. Stretching up through your right fingertips again. I want you to lift your left hip up towards your right hip. And then press your right foot into the floor firmly. And then keep your belly button drawing in, baby lifting up, tailbone, reaching for that right foot without tucking it under. And then just begin to pull your right arm back, opening up your chest a little bit more. And then from there, take those nice big circles with your right arm. A lot of times when we get stressed or anxious, right, we feel it a lot in our chest, right? You literally get a pounding sensation in your chest when you have a panic attack. You feel like you can't breathe, right? Switch direction with your arm. And then you tense up, your breath becomes really quick, right, and shallow. And so we really want to Make space and elongate the breath. Slow down the breath. And then gently release. Take both hands to the ground. Bring your knees back to hip distance apart. Let's go ahead and just take ourselves down onto the forearms, keeping your hips over your knees. Okay. And from there, you can bring your hands, interlace them together, and you'll just allow your forehead to kind of fall towards the ground here. So just allowing the heart to open softly. Keep a gentle hugging in with that lower belly area so you're not collapsing in your lower back, but rather opening up underneath the armpits, your chest. Take one more inhale. And with an exhale, I want you to pull your body back into child's pose. So slide your hips back, slide your arms back, finding your child's pose. Allow your forehead to soften. And take 3 big breaths into your back body, seeing if you can expand your back ribs just a little bit more. Finding space in the back of your heart. Take a deep breath in. And deep breath out. And then walk your arms forward, lifting your elbows, gaze between your hands. Spread your fingers wide, rolled forward, tuck your toes, come right up and back into your down dog. And once you arrive there, bend your knees one at a time, allowing your hips to just sway gently from side to side, pedaling out your feet, and saying hello to our hamstrings. Relax your neck, taking your head towards one arm and then the other as you draw your shoulder blades down your back. Okay, and then soften both heels towards the ground. Melt your heart towards the back of your mat as you draw your navel towards your spine. Relax your neck. And with your breath out, just walk your feet up towards your hands. And once you get there, find a ragdoll. So you can put a little bend in your knees. I'm going to take my feet nice and wide and make space for my belly. You don't have to, but it is comfy if you would like. Grab opposite elbows. Let your head hang heavy. Yeah, and if there's a lot of sensation in your back body right now, whether it's your legs or your back or your neck, just breathe a little bit deeper into that space. With every exhale, allow your upper body to get a little bit heavier. And with your next breath in, halfway lift. Elongate your spine, zip up your belly. Exhale as you forward fold. Good, and then inhale, halfway lift again. Exhale, forward fold. And one more time, inhale. Let it go, exhale. And this time as you breathe in, rise to standing, rooting through the feet. Reach your arms all the way up, breath in. Exhale your hands to your heart center. Okay, and then again, inhale, reach your arms up as you root down through the legs. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. As you exhale, step your right foot to the back of your mat. Pause here in just a runner's lunge. So walk your fingertips back in line with your left foot. I'm actually going to grab my blocks. You're welcome to do the same. And then once you arrive here, really soften the front of your right hip down as you pull your left hip towards the back of your mat. And then with an inhale, you'll work towards straightening your left leg, maybe flexing your toes off the floor, maybe not. Pull your left hip back, soften the right hip forward. And then exhale, bend into your left knee. Again, like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Pause here. Plant your hands. If you're using blocks, you're welcome to keep your hands on your blocks. Step your left foot to the back of your mat. Inhale as you shift forward. And then lower your knees to the ground. Lower your chin and your chest towards the floor, keeping your butt up towards the sky. And then inhale to a cobra. Plant the tops of your shins, elbows hug in towards the back body. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale. Deep exhale out. Good. And as you take another exhale, you'll step your right foot to the top of your mat. Pause here. Pull your right hip back, bend your right knee over your right ankle, and then take your right arm up. If you're pregnant, you're welcome to walk your right foot out towards the right a little bit more, just making some space for your belly. Everybody pull your heart forward, push into your left hand, pull your right shoulder back. Inhale here. Exhale. Slowly release. Inhaling your right hand back to the ground or your block. Look forward. Put a little bend in your back knee. You can straighten your right leg a little bit. And then give yourself a little hop towards the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Breath is important here. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Line your hands up with your right foot. Inhale as you pull your right hip back, straightening through your right leg. Pull your chest forward. And exhale, bend your right knee. Inhale, lift up, pull your right hip back. Exhale, bend. One more time. Breath in. And bend on your exhale. Pause here, root through your hands. Step your right foot to the back of your mat. Lean into your fingertips and tippy toes. Lower your knees down. Chin and chest comes down. Inhale to cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. See if you can make a little bit more space through your waist by really sending those thighs back. And then as you exhale, you'll step your left foot to the top of your mat. Yep, there we go. Yeah, and then we'll take a twist in the opposite direction. So again, if you want to walk your foot out to the side to make more space for belly, go for it. Everybody firm up your right leg, press into your right big toe. Bend your left knee as you swirl your chest open towards the ceiling. Inhale and exhale, release left hand to the ground. Take your right leg, put a bend in it, straighten through your left, and then spring yourself up to the top of your mat. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, reach tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. One more time. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale, bow down. Halfway lift as you inhale. And exhale, step your feet back. You're welcome to move through a vinyasa again if that felt good in your body. If not, you can always take it right back into your down dog. Good, and slowly just release knees to the ground. Find your child's pose again. And just notice how your body feels right after taking just a little bit of a flush, a little bit of movement. And getting into your breath. And just witness if any thoughts are still showing up. If they are, you can start to use your anchor thought at this time. So when you're moving your body, chances are you're focusing on that movement, which is great. And then when we come into stillness or when we hold a posture for a long time, you might start to kind of lose that focus and come back into these, unhealthy thought patterns. And that would be a good time for you to then shift into your anchor thought instead. Okay, go ahead and make your way up into a kneeling position. And once you arrive here, you can just swivel your legs around, take them out in front of you. We'll take our hands behind our back or behind our hips. You can take your hands to face backwards, actually. Yes, your fingers point towards the back of your mat. And then I want you to puff your chest up. Okay, and you have bent knees here, and then just scoot your butt forward. Then puff your chest up again. Push into the floor. Squeeze your scapulas together. Okay. So basically, if you're already feeling a pretty big stretch here in the front of your shoulder area, kind of armpit area, you're welcome just to stay here. If you feel like there's more space to be made, you can bring your hips forward even more. But then check in, right? Because if you're collapsing, you're not going to get the opening. You want to push into the mat, squeezing the scapulas towards the center of your spine. And you should be able to feel a pretty good stretch. And we'll just hold here for a moment. Really find that 360 breathing. So as you inhale, you're inhaling to all sides of the rib cage. When you exhale all the way. Good. Nice, you guys. Lift your butt up, scooch it back. And we'll make our way into a wide-legged forward fold. So you can turn your body on your mat if you'd like. And then once you get your legs out wide, I want you to take your hands to your thighs one at a time. Spiral your thighs back. So the inside hand is going to be pushing down. The outside hand is going to be pulling up. So you get your not your sacrum, but your hip bones really grounded. And then here is a really good place to grab your bolster if you have one. Place it in front of you. I have a really intense pelvic pain here, so I'm going to prop my bolster up pretty high. You're welcome to do the same if this bothers you, or even if you're just pretty tight in this movement. So the bolster of pillows would come right up to your groin area, and then you kind of just lean on it. Either you fall or you come all the way forward, or like me, you'll have your forearms on it because there's a big belly in the way. All right, and then try to flex your feet so that your knees point up towards the ceiling. Right, we keep that external rotation in the hips. And just breathe well. A couple deep breaths. Allowing yourself to soften. If you're one of those people who feels extremely tight in this position, you are not alone. Let me first just say that there's, everyone's hips work differently, and there's a lot going on in this position actually with the abduction and external rotation and flexion of the hips, and then you also have to take into the account your mobility and your hip flexors, your back, your hamstrings, all that stuff. So if you're kind of up here and just feeling hunched over, take something underneath your butt and sit on it and just sit tall. Yeah, and that's it. And just let yourself be there. Maybe with a slight hinge forward, but try not to round your back. And let's all take a couple more deep breaths. And slowly make your way back up to seated. And we'll go ahead and bend our left knee, taking your heel towards your groin area. And you can bring a block if you have one. If you don't, that's fine, over to the inside of your right leg. Some of you might need it to come to the outside. That's okay. Then just sit up nice and tall. And I want you to think about pressing this left thigh down. Okay, so both sitting bones are going to stay super rooted. And then just lean your body towards your right thigh. You can either just rest your right thigh or your right elbow on your right thigh, or rest it on the block, or grab your big toe. Cool. And then from there, stretch your left arm up. Pull your left shoulder towards your spine, but reach up through your left arm and press down through your left sit bone and thigh. And just take a nice big breaths into your side waist again, feeling that expansion come into the left side of your rib cage. And even though there's a lot of opening on this left side, can you also pull your lowest right rib towards your right foot? Yeah, think about that for a moment. Pull your lowest right rib towards your right foot so that you elongate your right side body as well. And we're going to stay here for a couple more breaths. So if you'd like, you can take your right hand or left hand behind your head. You can also lift your block up for a little bit more support and rest your right elbow on that block. And just allow yourself to continue to turn open towards the ceiling, zipping up your belly, taking deep breaths. One more deep inhale. Deep exhale. And as you inhale, come back up to center. This time you'll turn your whole body towards your right leg. So you're facing your right foot, and then you're going to start to crawl your arms forward a little bit. Okay, so this is a little bit, say the range of motion for a lot of people is going to be pretty limited here. If it's too much, walk your right foot back in a little bit, and then you can start to find the fold. Okay, and another great option is just to use support if you have it. And if you don't, I'd prefer you to stay upright with a broad chest rather than sort of hunching and rounding in. Relax your jaw completely. And just as practice, whenever you find your physical body kind of seizing. Even if you just catch your jaw, right, being clenched, or your fists being clenched, or your belly being clenched without you noticing, first, relax the body. So if you feel that your jaw is clenched, relax your jaw. And then just practice that that thought, right? That thought that's going to help you shift out of anxiousness. And just practice bringing that into the forefront of your mind, allowing yourself to paint that picture of whatever it is that is going to bring you into this space, this nice light space. Let's take one more breath in and breath out. And slowly come back up. All right. Go ahead and bend your right knee in, extend your left leg out. And we'll do the same thing. So we're going to come into this side bend first, a lateral side stretch. We're not going to face our leg. We're going to go straight to the side. So just slowly reach that right arm out. Again, you can take the block outside of the leg or inside. Inside of the leg is going to be a little bit deeper of a rotation, if you're okay with that. And then go ahead and extend your right arm up. We want to stay rooted through your right sitting bone, right? So you're really pressing down. This right thigh is pressing down. I recommend staying active in both feet. So both feet are flexed. Can you take up a little bit more space here as you reach up through your right arm a little bit more and pull your right arm back? And then draw your left lowest rib towards your left foot. So we lengthen the left side as you root down through your right sitting bone. Okay, and again, you can stay here, or you can take your right arm onto that block. Left arm onto the block, right hand behind your head. You can almost just support your head, right, with your left hand, and then continue to work your right shoulder back. And if that feels like it's too much, you can always just take your right hand to your hip as well. Relax your jaw. Focus on the breath. Keep rotating your right ribs open towards the ceiling. Okay, and then gradually release your arms. Make your way back up through to center. Turn your body towards your left leg. You might want to bring it in a little bit. Elongate through your spine. And then find a fold, hinging at the hips, right? Not your upper back. We really want to stay broad in our collarbones. Stay rooted through both sitting bones. Allow ease to wash over your forehead, your eye sockets, your lips, your throat, your shoulders. Release any holding in the pit of your belly or pelvic floor. Relax your fingers, palms of your hands, soles of your feet and toes. one more breath in, breath out, and slowly unwind. Good. All right, we'll come onto our back. So you can shift your body back towards the top of your mat. I am going to be taking some support here in my reclined position because it's a lot more comfortable for me. But lying flat on your mat is what I would do if I was not pregnant right now. So you're welcome to do that. All right. Once you get onto your back, just take your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze, a nice hug. Both knees can draw in. And just give yourself a little rock side to side. If you're inclined like me for some reason, you're welcome just to kind of drop your knees side to side, allowing the hips to just open, lubricate some more. Good. And then let's all make our way into a happy baby. So if you are inclined, you'll want to take this one knee at a time. If you're not, you can take both knees at a time. If you're inclined like me, take your right knee in, grab a hold of your foot or your shin, just gently press down. If you have both feet at once, you can sort of rock a little bit side to side or work towards straightening your legs out one at a time. Good. If you're going with one side at a time, go ahead and switch. Yeah, and then softly go ahead and release both feet to the ground. Slide your feet forward one at a time until you make your way into Shavasana. And so allowing the arms to come out, palms face up, let the ankles naturally roll out. Let yourself take one more big breath in, big sigh out through the mouth. And then just again see what can be relaxed even more, right? Go through your forehead, your eye sockets, your jaw, your lips, the base of your throat, your chest, shoulders. Let your arms get even heavier on your mat or the floor. Your palms to relax completely. Let go of any control over your breath. Relax your lower belly and your pelvic floor. Notice the weight in your hips and thighs, the backs of your calves. And soften the soles of your feet and your toes, all the muscles around your ankles. Let yourself marinate in this space of complete ease and relaxation within your physical body. And if for some reason you shift and you revert back into old thought patterns, you have the tools to bring yourself back here, right? Come back to the breath, even if you have to deepen your breath again. Come back to your anchor thought. invite you to continue to remain exactly as you are if you are comfortable and at ease and you have the time. You're welcome to remain in your Shavasana. And if you feel like you're ready to continue throughout your day, go ahead and make small movements with your fingers and your toes, ankles and wrists. Turn your head from side to side softly. If you're reclined still, reach your arms overhead, take one more big stretch. Big audible exhale. And then gently roll over to one side. And keeping your eyes closed and using the support of your arms, make your way back up into a seated position. And just take your hands onto your body. Right, so I like to place my hands on my heart, maybe both on my heart, or one over my belly, one over my heart, whatever resonates with you right now. And just acknowledge just all the tools that you have, so that the next time you come into this space of anxiety, or even if you're someone who struggles with panic attacks, come back to the body. Place your hands on your body. Come back to the breath. Invite in your anchor thought once you begin to slow down the breathing. Once you touch base with where you are, then you can begin to shift into this other space. Let's go ahead and just take that with us today and for as long as you need it. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Good luck. I hope that helped in some way. Everyone's so different, so I think finding what tools work for you, and then not letting yourself forget, like actually practice what works, and hopefully that'll make a big difference in your life. Thank you for being here today, for making the time for yourself, and for practicing with me. Thanks, guys. Mwah.